Welcome back to Homes and Loans with Elite Mortgage. Today we're going to introduce a new segment, and we have also Lewis here with us, new member to our team. But this new segment we're going to introduce is the weekly frequently asked questions. So every Friday, you guys are going to see what were the most frequently asked questions for the week, and we're going to get them answered for you guys. So Lewis, if you want to introduce yourself so people get to know who you are a little bit.
Absolutely, Lazaro. First of all, obviously, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your team. It is my pleasure to be here today and to join in for what will be our weekly recap of some of those frequently asked questions. My name is Luis Torres. I am a new loan officer as a part of Lazaro's team. I'm a bilingual loan officer, so for my Spanish-speaking people, I'm here to help you as well. Fun fact about me, I actually played college baseball for 4 years. So that was a great experience that I had personally. I have a 1-year-old golden doodle at home. So for my dog lovers, I am also one of them. But like Lazaro said, we are here to answer some of those questions. We are here to give you trusted advice, to inform some of our clients, some of our realtors, as well as people in the community so that we can get obviously a trusted advice for those watching us at home.
Yeah, exactly, right? We want to make sure that when you see this, you get it from a trusted source instead of something online that you see, right? It's not always correct, regardless of how good technology is nowadays. So we want to kick off with the first question we got here. So a lot of people ask what they need to make to buy a house in 2025. If you want to answer that for us, Lewis.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with that, there's some misconceptions, that you need to make over six figures to be able to afford a home nowadays or to be able to buy a house. But we know that that's not the case. It's a general rule of thumb. We typically advise, you can look um, about 3 to 6%, as part of your cash or some of your saving to bring into the transaction. However, we know that there are programs that can allow us to reduce that. And that would definitely lead on to the next question that we have received.
Yeah. So going to the next question about the down payment assistance stuff. There are several programs. I mean, there's probably thousands, impossible to know them all, way too many. And I think there's a misconception that us as brokers, right, because we work with different banks, not just one, don't have access to those, but we do. We have access to some of the state program stuff too, so that can really help certain people. What I always tell people is you just have to call and apply, so we can tell you what exactly is your situation, because there's way too many of them.
Correct. And it varies from borrower to borrower. What we obviously tell all of our clients is you need to make sure to get trusted advice. That's what we are here for. And then with that, a lot of people ask, how long does it usually take for the process? How long can we expect to get, an approval? We like to chip in with that.
Yeah. So, I mean, getting you an approval takes us 20, 30 minutes of looking at your stuff. I mean, sure, there's some situations maybe takes a little bit extra, it's a little bit more complicated, but normally 20, 30 minutes. Really just depends how quickly can you get us what we need, right? Get the application and the documents we need. We look at it. It's really not that hard. I think certain places make it a lot bigger than what it seems to.
Absolutely.
So it's really not that hard, right? And then that also leads to the next question, which is what's the quickest bank to getting you closed on your house in Florida, right? I think you could talk about this, my favorite bank.
Absolutely, absolutely. And funny enough, we usually take a trip down to the headquarters in Michigan. It's a nice city. That is United Wholesale Mortgage, UWM. We've actually had a case just recently, about a week ago, where we had it clear to close in 7 days.
Yeah, right? 7 days with appraisal because it was FHA. Yeah,
correct. Yeah. So UWM, they do a really good job. They invest a lot in their team to be able to obviously help us, help you get to that closing table as soon as you need to.
Yeah, exactly. And their technology is out of this world. I always say they're like Apple, let's say, or Uber, but there's no Lyft, there's no Google, right? There's no second competitor to them. That's how big the difference is. So whenever we could use them, we want to try and use them to make everything better for everybody. And then something else I've gotten asked, sometimes people talk about like credit score, what they need, all that stuff, right, for certain loans. But in this case, particularly for FHA, can you shine in a little bit about that, what they kind of need?
Yeah. Absolutely. Obviously, within FHA guidelines, it depends on the client. But as a general rule of thumb, we'll say 580 credit score can get you onto an FHA loan.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. And like he said, it does depend, right? Sometimes maybe you need a little bit higher. Right. It just depends how the system reads you. There's a lot of different moving parts, but at least you have a chance at that point.
Correct. Correct. And that's what we're here for. We are
Yeah.
here to find that chance for you to find a door to get you into your next home.
Exactly. Yep. Um, then this type of loan that we get asked is, as an I-10 buyer, can you buy a home in Florida?
Absolutely, you can. We have many different banks that we are a partner with in which we can provide some of those programs available for you if you're an I-10 borrower.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not, I'm not going to sugarcoat. It's not going to be the easiest loan in the world for you to do. But if you're committed as a buyer and as a realtor, right, you're committed with us to work as a team to get it done, it's definitely possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And now, Lazaro, I think in some of the, most recent years, people have asked the question, is now a good time to refinance?
Yeah.
Right now, we're in October 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really a good time for us to refinance?
Yeah, you're actually seeing it more and more. They're starting to come back. I think I'm working on 3 myself personally right now. Uh, the market has definitely gotten better as we were, let's say, by the end of last year, even 2 years ago. So it definitely is, right? And some people are even able to access equity now into their homes too.
Not only that, Lazaro, but also when you benefit from a 2-1 buy down, also if interest rates have dropped and let's say that you had enough seller concessions, we can also use some of those funds to reduce your principal balance. So there's additional benefits to it. Also, Lazaro, I think some of us have the question, what is, as a general rule of thumb, your monthly payment for a house that's worth $350,000?
Yeah, it's a big range or a decent range, right? But generally it's about 2,600 to 2,800 nowadays, depending on taxes, if it has HOA, depending on home insurance, right? So there's a lot of different things.
Correct. Correct. And like we said, it's a general rule of thumb.
Yeah.
It varies depending on the factors. It is important, obviously, for us to do the research for you and for you to ensure that you understand what your total monthly payment will be.
Yeah. Yeah, correct. Sorry, I was just thinking, I actually have a buyer that is kind of higher 350s, but where she's looking at taxes are like $7,000 in the area she's looking, which that's not normal. She's in Tampa area. That's not normal. Let's say to Jacksonville or other areas of Florida.
Correct.
So
Correct.
she's on the higher end of that
Absolutely.
range. Yeah.
You go down to cities like Tampa, Miami, some of those property taxes are a little bit higher compared to the medium here in Jacksonville. So yeah, it varies. Now, Lazaro, what are some of the documents that we need for somebody to get approved for a loan? Or let's say, we have a call with one of our clients. What do we ask?
Yeah, so it depends what they are, if they're W-2 or 1099, but let's go with W-2. So W-2 usually is the last 2 years of W-2s. If they, let's say, get paid weekly, then you need the last 4 pay stubs. If they get paid bi-weekly, the last 2. ID and just the bank statements that they're going to use or where the funds are going to come from. So we'll need those bank statements. So it's not that hard. It's pretty simple. For the most part, most people do a good job of getting us that stuff.
Absolutely.
But some drag their feet. And that's the ones that take a little bit longer, unfortunately.
And if you need that help, you can come to our office. We can help you scan documents. You don't have to be tech savvy. Nowadays, most things are done online. You have to send emails, send it through your application. If you need help, reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to help you scan your documents.
Yep, absolutely. And then the last question for the week is the opposite, right? So they're not W-2, then what do they need?
So in the case that you're self-employed, right? You're 1099, we will need your most recent tax returns. We will need those bank statements to look at those deposits within the last month. Also, your IDs. But the most important part will be those tax returns for the most recent 2 years.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then, some people are lucky. They maybe qualify with just 1 year, but we don't know until we kind of get a little bit more into detail.
Correct. Yeah. And this is just as a general rule of thumb, right? There are some cases like we mentioned just a few minutes ago, right, where it varies depending on the client. Every situation is different. Our job here is to make sure that we can instruct you and find a solution for your specific scenario.
Yeah. Yep. And then I just want to say thank you to anybody that watches this. You know, if you have any questions you want to ask, feel free to send it to us, and we can add it to our weekly question podcast that we're doing now. I don't know if you want to say any last thoughts before we wrap up.
No, thank you, obviously, Lazaro,
Yeah.
for obviously taking the time for us to be a part of this show. Like Lazaro said, if you have any questions or any suggestions, please leave us some feedback. You could do it below here. We'll be more than happy to share again some of those questions next week. See you there.
Yep. Tune in next week.